Before you post another reel on Instagram, I want you to pause. Sometimes it feels like you're throwing spaghetti at the wall, and honestly, most of the time you are. But there's a way to do it where you can use information that's at your fingertips to your advantage so that it feels a little bit less like you are shouting into the void. Instagram gives us so much data for free. It's really just up to us to actually pause and look through that information, understand it, and then figure out how we can use it going forward with our content. In this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to audit your Instagram content, and I suggest you do this every single month or even more frequently than that so that planning your content for the next month can be so much easier. At the end of this video, I'm going to share with you my rates for brand partnerships because I know as a creator, that's probably something you're looking to do more of, and trying to figure out what to charge feels very confusing. So I'm going to share that with you, and don't forget those timestamps are down below so you can hop around where you need to. Let's get right into it. The first thing you want to do here is define the timeline that you're auditing. Are we going to be looking at the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, etc.? Very often I will opt to look at the last 30 days, but if I haven't posted a ton, I will actually look at the last 2 to 3 months instead, especially if I maybe haven't had a variety of things that I've posted in the last month. I think it's good to have that extra data, but you can do this multiple different ways and see what's more helpful to you. But first things first, figure out that duration that you're going to be auditing. Now we're going to be going into your Instagram, into your professional dashboard. You'll be able to click on your content you shared, and here it's going to let you basically sort through all of the content that you shared in that time duration, and it will sort it by top to bottom performance. Now, when I'm sorting it, I actually like to sort it by the highest reach or views, and I'll look at that as one set of data. And then I also like to look at the highest engagement as well, because I want to see how many people are actually looking at the videos, yes, but I also want to know how many people are actually interacting with the videos, because these things are equally as important. Now, of course, we're going to be looking at the content that's all the way at the top of that list. I'm kind of looking at the top 12 posts maybe, and the things that I'm asking myself are really about the commonalities between these pieces of content. Why are all these performing really well? What is similar between them? I want to look at maybe logistical things like the duration of the video and the watch time of the video. Was it a trending sound? Was it a reel versus a carousel? I'm looking at all of those things, but I also want to look at maybe the creatives. Was it a certain content format that I used or content style? Did I edit this, bunch of content a different way? And I'm looking at this from all the different lenses that I possibly could. Of course, we're going to look at those top maybe 9 to 12 posts, but it's equally as important you scroll all the way to the bottom and look at the lowest performing posts as well. Because yes, maybe they didn't perform super well, but that is also just as valuable of information as the stuff that's all the way up at the top. I'm asking myself the same questions. What are the commonalities between these lower performing posts, and why did they bomb? Why did people not like them? Why were they not well received? Is it a certain topic, a certain format? Are all my carousels getting really terrible engagement, but my reels are getting great engagement? Was it, carousels that were over 5 slides that did really well and lower than 5 slides that did really poorly? These are all of the technical questions I'm going to be asking myself so that I can essentially make a big bullet point list of all the things I'm kind of realizing about this content. Now, one of the things I also really like to look at with all of this is how I am showing up to my audience. For example, one of the things that I found throughout 2025 was that all of my more personal or storytelling content performed exponentially better than anything else. So at the maybe last quarter of the year, I went so hard in creating that type of content, and my engagement and reach was higher than it was the whole rest of the year. So I picked up on those type of things. Do people really like when I'm telling stories? Do they like when I'm talking about topics that are maybe harder to talk about or more relatable to talk about? Look at those things as well, because that might lead you in the right direction as well. Now, if you're looking for a little bit more technical data, especially for Reels, one of the things that I really like to do is look at the actual Reel data as well. So if you found that some Reels were in like your bottom performing and you're going, why didn't people like these? I thought they were such great videos. I would like you to click on those Reels and physically go to their insights where you get the whole page about that specific Reel. What is really cool to see there is you have the full duration of the video. So maybe it was a 60-second video, and you also have something called the average watch time. So this average watch time is so helpful for us to understand why content did not perform well. What I found was that the content that is really low performing typically has a really low average watch time in comparison to the whole video. So again, if it's a 60-second video, maybe people are literally watching 3 seconds of it. So that says to me, they did not even get to the good part of the video because something in the beginning did not intrigue them enough. That's a problem of hooks. So you see how we can also use that specific video content stats or data to really analyze like where in the video we went wrong. Maybe we find that at 15 seconds, we're losing people. Okay, go back to that video, scroll to 13 to 18 seconds, watch that part and go, okay, why here did people leave? Did I have a big weird pause? Did I not make sense with something? Was it kind of boring, etc.? Now that you have all this kind of information, whether it's actual number data, or maybe it's more of the kind of like psychographics, analytics here that are equally as important, this is when we actually want to turn this into a content plan. So very often what I'll do from this information is I'll look through comments of those top performing posts. Did people have follow-up questions that I can build upon and create more content on in maybe another video? Did I find that all of the content in a certain content pillar outperformed everything else? Okay, cool. When I go to plan my next month, I'm going to do way more of that content than anything else. And so I can use that information and that data to essentially plan the ideas as well as how often I am going to post certain content pillars and maybe even what formats of content I'm going to create based on what I found in my top performing and bottom performing content. One big thing I want to share with you here that could be potentially a mistake as you are auditing this is looking at one maybe viral post that you had and putting all of your eggs in that basket. The thing with going viral is it's sometimes really random. And so if we say, oh, wow, we have this one viral post this month, I have to do everything exactly like that. That doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to have success in it the next month. So I'm more consistently am looking at the content from a larger point of view. Again, like what did I post a lot of this month that constantly did well versus, oh wow, this one post did well, but it's kind of an outlier. We don't necessarily want to take that information and plan our entire month off of just that one video. So looking at a larger data set is going to be really important here. Now, if you're feeling overwhelmed or excited about figuring out what the heck to post, don't worry, you do not have to figure it out alone. In our private creator community, Soulcial Suite, we have over 130 creators, plus myself and other creator coaches who are there to help you succeed and literally hold your hand every step of the way. Especially if you're watching this video, you're probably wondering, what should I post? Is this post good enough to post? How do I have better performance? And we have actually two really cool features that I think you will love. One being our trends and content ideas space, where every single week we share probably 3 to 7 different content ideas that you can literally plug and play into so that you really don't have to think about what to post. And we also have a space called content auditing, where you're able to drop in posts before they go live or after they go live to ask for feedback from your fellow creators and coaches so that you can make sure you're putting out the best content before you post it, or at least learning, if you have already posted it, from an outside perspective, what people liked and didn't like, and maybe where you lost them. Plus, when you join the suite, you get unlimited access to me whenever you need it. So if you're looking for some of that support, definitely check out the link in the description below. But before we go, I want to share with you my brand partnership rates, like I mentioned. I know that many of you are probably going into Google and looking at these calculators. And while I understand that is an option, it's sadly not the most accurate option because it usually only takes into consideration your follower count. This is exactly why we created our fair pricing method, which takes into consideration 4 things. Yes, your follower count, but also how targeted is your audience, how engaged is your audience, and what is the reach of your content like. It calculates a rate based off of all of these 4 things that is going to be so much more accurate to what I know that you can charge for brand partnerships. You can download the worksheet right down below. And with me using this worksheet in the last year or 2, I have actually calculated my rates for Instagram to be about $2,000 per post, and TikTok about $1,000 per post. And on both accounts, I have less than 30,000 followers. These are rates that I've consistently charged at least in the last year and a half, and they all came from our fair pricing worksheet. So you can check that out in the description, and I will see you guys next week.